'Cause you deserve much more than what I'm living for. So give me passion that is raging and wild, untouched by pride, with joy light and purified, left behind by this fire, our ashes lifeless and array, but underneath the last desire you have placed there to bloom through the pain, to bring honor and praise to your name. You deserve no less than my heart's brokenness, till I burn like a star in the sky, to give you praise, lift your name to glorify, and left behind by this fire, where ashes lifeless and red, and underneath the last desire you have placed there to bloom through the pain, to bring honor and praise to your name. You have told me I have no shame, so wrench me, hold me until I glorify your name. Left behind by this fire, our ashes lifeless and red, and underneath the last desire you have placed there to bloom through the pain, to bring honor and praise to your name. Left behind by this fire, our ashes lifeless and gray, and underneath the last desire that you have placed there to bloom through the pain, to bring honor and praise to your name by this fire.
Well, yeah, it's a little overwhelming because people ask you, how was Africa? And I'm like, well, I was there for a month, so it was good. It was fun. How to answer that question? I think if I could tell you one story, I'll tell you the story of a little girl named Sylvia, and she actually wasn't even in the slide. But in Africa, you can tell when a child is really sick, their eyes are yellow, because in jaundice in an African child, you can't see it in their skin, but you can see it in their eyes. And Sylvia was a little girl who was probably about 12 or 13. You never really know how old the children are because most of them are orphans, so they don't know. But she has sickle cell anemia, which just causes massive organ failure and causes their stomachs to be bloated and just, of course, shortens their lifespan greatly. But she was this little girl at children's home who I didn't really realize that I was even ministering to her because I couldn't really minister to her. Children in Africa who are sick, who are either disabled or just ill, can't go to school. And actually lots of children can't go to school because school costs money. So you won't send a sick child or a handicapped child to school because it doesn't make fiscal or financial sense. So she didn't even speak English, whereas most of the children who are 7 and 8 years old are speaking many languages. So most children I could speak with, but her I couldn't. And every time I saw her, I would give her something to eat or something to drink, just because she always looks on the verge of death. And she's not on the verge of death, she just looks that way. So it wasn't even that, the Lord was telling me to, minister to her and, give her food. It was just like, you look like you're dying. Like, do you want my piece of bread or banana or whatever I had? And it was just funny because on the last day of all the children that I felt like I ministered to, or all the things I felt like I didn't even remember her. Like, she wasn't someone I was being intentional about loving. And I think that's kind of what the Lord showed me, is that, Jen, I'll use you if you'll just be obedient. And sometimes the Lord uses us when we don't know he's using us, and that's probably the best way. Because if I knew he was using me, I probably would have gotten involved, and it wouldn't have ended up so well. But so on the very last day, as we were saying goodbye, so we haven't spoken a word to each other because she speaks Luganda and I speak English, and we can't really communicate. But about every day, I would give her something to eat or something to drink, and just because she looked like she needed it. And the last night that I was there, she didn't even say anything. She just reached up and gave me a hug, and as she was giving me a hug, she fastened this necklace that she made for me around my neck. And I think it spoke to me so powerfully because I'd been so focused on ministering and to these different children and doing all these different things, and I hadn't even thought of her. But yet the Lord had been ministering to her through me the entire time, and I didn't even realize it. So that's just one story of many. All of those pictures have stories because all those kids, I know their name. And I think if I could tell you one other thing, is that all the stereotypes about Africa, about poverty and AIDS, and all those things are true, but all the things that you don't hear is that they're very intelligent, and the kids speak 3 and 4 languages, and with just a little bit of help, they can succeed. And when you hear the whole Compassion International, for $1 a day, you can change a child's life, it's true. I didn't really think that I thought it was true, but it is. So I'm glad that Vintage as a community is really committed to missions, just because there are so many children around the world who won't eat and won't sleep with a roof over their head and will never go to school and will continue in the cycle of poverty. But it's true that at least with dwelling places, I think it's like $22 a month, and the kids go to school and have a roof and have food. It's really amazing how far the dollar goes. And so anyway, Africa was an amazing experience. It was very humbling, and I think I've been very broken through the whole thing, but the Lord uses us in spite of ourselves, so it was good.